All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. All right. Quite the devastation going on in France now. France just got hit with a major storm that just ruined the place. You're looking at devastation now from France. We were just talking about the polar vortex and how it's reaching down into North Africa and really pummeling France. Well, here's the results of that. France getting slammed with just extreme weather, flooding, all kinds of craziness here. All right, so let's back out of that and go start our solar report. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Sure, y'all heard we had the X flare today. I did a report on that earlier today, and we're going to update that with the latest data and what direction it's going, and all sorts of other good events and stuff too. Here is our satellite for today. Let me scroll up here if I can get it. December 14th, 2023. All right. Let's just read this real quick. I'm just reading something in the chat real quick while we let that loop play real quick. Okay, so that's our big X flare right there. We already kind of covered it a little bit, the object that's in there. You can see it. In fact, we'll pause on that in case you didn't catch the show earlier today. Whoops. Catch it when it comes back around again here. All right. I need to pull this down just a little bit more. Use these buttons. Okay, over on this side, you can see here's our object right there. You can see the little bit of plastic that's latched onto it. I'm going to back up just a little bit. We're going to zoom in on this frame real quick. Just so you can see our round black object totally immersed or totally surrounded with plasma there in that shot right there. Okay. Then as it proceeds to move out of the screen, proceeds to move away from the occulter, move on out. You can see it moving out. You can see another little shadowy object possibly right below it. It looks like two of them. Let me get to the one frame here. Where is it? It came out better on the red side over here. You can see this secondary object right here. Let me go zoom in on this again. You can see it right here. Got a bow shock on the front and one on the back there a little bit. Let me go a couple more shots. Whoops, let's back up. There's a good shot of it right there. And there we go. So, yep, you can see our little black object. It's got a bow shock on the front and one on the back. It's just totally surrounded with plasma in that shot right there. So, there was a couple little objects in there that induced that big CME today, or that big X flare. Okay. Then, let me pull this back up a little bit and scooch it down a little bit and proceed as this event continues on out of the frame here. Let me pull this over. There we go. So as it proceeds out of the frame there, you can see that's the X flare. And we had another little trailing one right there, leaving a dent in the instrumentation right there. And then this little event up here as well, okay? But the beginning of the day starts off with this event right here. This is the one that's going to be earthbound, really. This connects with the other one. If you look here, there's a little pulse right in this area when we start going forward here. At this point right here, we have this bulb right here and another one growing right there, all right? So that covers pretty much this side of the sun. Then when the next event comes out, it covers this part all the way around. So you can see this little object moving out down there. And then our X flare comes right here and covers the other half of the screen. Okay, so we're going to get hit with that. All right, now let me put this back into motion here. And we're going to show you from another satellite a little further back from C3's perspective. And you'll see the full halo effect when this first one and the second one kind of combine together. It gives a full halo effect. So we're going to be getting some inbound energy. All right. Now I'm going to come over here to the solar ham site. And oh my gosh, are you Are you kidding me? I just opened this instrument up and here we are having another event again. Unbelievable. Every time I try to do my show early, I get stalled till 12 o'clock and then, wow, look at this, you guys. So here's another event underway right now. Strong M class. They don't have it up here yet, but you can see here's what, R1? Yeah, R1 radio blackout happening right now as we're doing this live stream. Just like earlier today, this was underway as we did the show. So here we go again with another blast, and we'll give the instrumentation a little bit to catch up and see if we can take a peek at this latest blast right here that just happened. That wasn't there a few minutes ago when I was setting up for the show. Weird how that's working out now. All right, so there's your GOES X-ray. Here's your X 2.8. Okay, it came way back down, kind of a little choppy here going into the next day, but now, bam, we've had another significant long duration. It's turning yellow again right here, so it's another one of these long duration events here. Okay, flare, CME, whichever it is. Probably both. Okay, just real quick, you can see our C flare is 99%. Our X flare potential just jumped to 25%. Okay, and for good reason. I was afraid there might be another one right after this, and darn near. Okay, that's a pretty powerful M-class flare. We'll have to find out where that one came out of and what direction it's heading next. There's just so much to cover. It's hard to keep up with it now. It's just starting to move at breakneck pace, and it's hard to keep up with 4 different CMEs coming together. 2 of them, me. The third one might. Just all these probabilities with now another event now right behind it. Right behind this X flare now. Boom. Wow. Okay, let's just kind of click on this real quick. Give a little bit bigger map of this. All right, there's our event underway right now, going into the orangish brown right in the center here. So not fully red, not a super big impact, but another impact, another absorption event. Okay, we have just had one of these with the X flare. Now here's another one with this latest M flare. Man, thank you, Lord, for helping me do this show. I have to say a special prayer to have him help me to speak through me, because I can't do this much. I can't. It's getting hard to report on this stuff. Okay, let me just read this real quick for you then. The strongest solar flare of the current solar cycle in terms of the peak X-ray flux was just detected on AR-53 or 3514. The X 2.8 event is responsible for a coronal mass ejection that may have an Earth-directed component. All right, they already said that earlier, type 2 radio emissions, but down below here, Earth-directed CME. The solar flare produced a full halo coronal mass ejection. Okay, and I think we got a better shot of it on the other site, but there it is, just a quick movie in green, this thing flashing. We already seen that, but here's the big huge sunspot region. Okay, and here's your beta gamma configuration. It's going to go beta gamma delta here real soon. So It looks too. It looks like it might. So this is quite the sunspot mess we got there. Um, Growing sunspot region 3514 produced a moderately strong M5.8 solar flare this morning. This event is responsible for a coronal mass ejection that so far appears mostly directed to the west. Updated coronagraph imagery will be required to determine. Okay, so they're talking about this M5.8. Or no, that's from yesterday. That's from the. Well, maybe it is this one. No, because this is a new one, I think. At 12:14, 7:44 UTC. No, that's an earlier one, I think. Anyways, there's that. Let me zoom back out of this. Oh no, we have to go this way. Back out. That way. No. All right, just pull back up again. All right, so I wanted to come over here. So, December 15th, they're calling for 0. This is going to change. We might have a G1 here, G1 to 2 here, all right? And now with this X flare on its way for the 17th, or possibly catching up to this, we'll see, that will change as well. That'll probably be a G1 to G2. Okay, right now you can see our KP index. We're doing pretty good. It's going back down right now. Our auroras, let's pop these open real quick and unzoom this so we can see both of them at the same time, because it's not just up at the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere is taking on energy as well. Okay, and you can see the little yellow band forming in there. It was there around here earlier today, so we are having a mild medium absorption event right now, besides the CM, besides the M flare that just went off. Okay, and I want to come over, open up the tracker real quick. Here, let's just pop that open nice and large for you. Okay, there's your X flare heading away. All right, they said that the other one seems to be heading away too. We'll see once we get the more data, because it's currently underway right now. That thing is just fresh. But there's your X flare. We're going to get clipped by it a little bit, and I think more so when we look at another shot from another angle here, you're going to see that it's more than just this. Remember I showed you the flare right before it, or the CME right before the X flare that was covering this half, and then this one covers the other half. See that? So it's not on here, but I'm going to show you something here. First, let's take a peek at the Enlil spiral real quick, because I want to talk about this upcoming event here as well. It's coming here. Here we go. All right, Enlil spiral, and these two humps right here on the graph, we're getting closer and closer to the left. All right, we're moving this way in time. They're getting closer and closer. Right here, right on the transition of the 14th to 15th is when it's due to hit Earth and Stereo A, which is right next to us. So that's our first wave of energy. It's going to dip down and get a second wave of energy. And whoops, I meant to load that up. Okay, and then again up here, you can see the first wave coming off, followed by a second wave. All right, and then we're also going to have a third wave coming off behind it, the X flare going that way, and another one going this way. All right. Let me back out of this now. All right, we done with this. All right, and all this is going to translate to more earthquake and volcano activity when we get to that point. All right, so we're done with this. Let me move on over to this next instrument here. Okay, let's take a sip here. I'll zoom this in so you guys can read along if you'd like. Come on, I wanted to zoom more than that. Let me take a sip here. The minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are possible on December 15th and 16th, okay? So they're calling for G1 on both days, even though that other instrument didn't call for it. In response to an incoming solar wind stream with stealthy CME embedded in it, okay? Storm levels should escalate to Category 2. See, this is where I'm agreeing with this, or they're agreeing with me. It's going to be a G2 or even maybe a G3 on December 17th, okay? When the CME from yesterday's, or from today's X2.8 flare arrives. Get this out of there. Get. All right, update the strongest flare of the current solar cycle. I think we all heard about this. This is the strongest flare of the solar cycle 25 so far, and the most powerful eruption since the sun has produced since the great storms of September 2017. Funny how we were just talking about September 2017, and here we have a little reminder of that time frame with the biggest X flare since then. All right. Radiation from the flare caused deep shortwave radio blackout. I'm not caring about that. This explosion probably launched a fast-moving coronal mass ejection soon after the blast. The U.S. Air Force is reported a Type 2 solar radio burst, all right, which typically comes from the leading edge of the CME. Now, this is the video I want you to see here. Let me center this so you can see the bottom half here. And better can't. All right, you can see there's a halo going around over here on this side as well. All right, so the main brunt of it right here might sideswipe us, but it's gonna come our way. We're gonna get some of this energy from it. Okay, see down in here. And this area had erupted first and was already out here, and this second event has already caught up to it. All right, so now we have this third wave, this full halo, that's going to be right behind those first two waves on the 15th, 16th. This might catch up to them, and if it doesn't cannibalize them, it could shove the other two a little faster, maybe. We don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. We're going to have 1, 2, 3 impact, or is this going to catch up on and make the second one more intense, or what? So there's your full halo right there, and they're concerned about it because it says, although the CME is not squarely aimed at Earth, it does appear to have an Earth-directed component. A glancing blow is likely December 17th solar flare. Blah, blah, blah. All right, and see, it says confirmation. Newly arriving images for heliosphere. All right, so enough of that. Let's get on over to the Schuman Report. Okay, here's the Schuman. It's pumping along pretty nicely right now. Not too much to worry about at the moment. But that's all going to change here in the coming days when we start absorbing all this energy and it gets directed to the poles directed to the core, and the core heats up and swells, and it starts grinding on the shell. All right, and then that's when our magnetic field gets weak. Then you see a little dip in the line right there, a little weakness in our green line going across here. This is our 7.83 hertz. This is the one we're most concerned about, all right? When we see a little fading like that, that means it got weak for a minute there, all right? It didn't go all the way down, but it does get weak. We need it as strong and glowing green, vibrant as we can have it, because we got a bunch of stuff on the way. Let's get over here to the earthquake report. So we did have a few little earthquakes today. Not too much or too bad, but we need to talk about them here, because here we go at our deep region. Boom, with our deep quake. This is a 4.4 down at 626.8. That's way down there. that's an indicator that the um, the pressure or the energy has reached the core, and the core is already starting to react within the magma and stuff down below, and we get this little deep quake, super deep quake right there. 4.4, and then at the surface, in the system, put out a 5.0. Oh, this is a deep quake too. Sorry, this is a deep quake 5.0 in the Fiji region. So we have two deep quakes. We have a 5.0 there, this 4.4 that's down even deeper. This is 592. The other one was 626 or something. So they're both very deep quakes. So we've had two deep quakes indicating uh, uh, movement down below. All right, it's starting to react now, and as it did, we had a 5.1 here in the band to sea, and it's down at 155. It's not a shallow quake. The 4.5 next to it is down at 115 as well. So a couple of deeper mid deep quakes. They're not deep, but they're not surface quakes. Here's our weak spot, and look, we have a little quake cluster going on again. Okay, they all look about the same size. 4.4, 4.7, 4.6, and 4.5, all on this plate, on this tectonic plate over here. Over on this plate, we have 4.7, 4.6. The 4.6 is at 66 on the depth. Weird. Okay, on to the next one. 4.8 right there. 4.9 right there. And a 4.6 right there. So you can see we've gotten a little more activity here. Not a jump in magnitude quite yet, but some rumbling in this area. This is our new weak spot, and it's coming to life again with this pressure coming in. Now, we were talking about this area, possibly getting a quake in here, and what do we have? A 5.3 at a depth of 43, okay? So these new little regions that have popped up where we have these new weak spots where our quake swarm was here, we had a quake swarm down here, and we had one up here, okay? So these are going to be the areas to watch because they're already kind of coming to life, all right? Um, let's come on over here. Check this one over here. India, 4.3 at Pakistan right there. We have a 4.4 in Iran there, and a 4.6 in Turkey. So mid-range 4 energy, made it over this fulcrum point, kind of bypassed this one too, and it's dropped off a couple of quakes in here. Now we're going to see quake activity pick up here pretty soon, and volcanic activity as well. All right. Right now it's nice and quiet. It's kind of the calm before the storm. Here's a 5.4 at a depth of 78, and another 5.0 at a depth of 51. So we've had a little bit of release of energy right here, which is good for this new energy coming in. We've had at least a little release there. Pretty quiet all through this zone. All right, there's a small one here, 2.5. Small one out here, 3.7. All right, so all this area that's empty right there, all ready to be filled in with this new inbound wave of energy coming up from below now. All right, down here, 5.5. All right, so we're going to see, whoops, there's one in South America here, a 5.1 at a depth of 185. And then over here at the islands, the Sandwich Islands, a 5.4. So some 5 energy, mid-range 5 energy that's out there. All right, it's going to pick up in magnitude here pretty soon. All right, but right now, pretty quiet. We got this latest little quake over here in the Virgin Islands at a 3.4. Sorry, I need to take a sip. And that's about it for this. Coming on over to our volcano report now. And of course, it's not set up like I had it. We because of the ads. We're going to add ourselves to death. Buried in ads. All right, let me click this open right here and get our December 14th report here. Come on. All right, here we go. Krakatoa. Explosive activity continues to 4,000 feet. The explosive eruption at the volcano continues and remains essentially unchanged over the past 24 hours. Watch for this to increase. These plume levels, watch those altitudes increase as well because of the increase in pressure shoving them out. We got Merapi still going off here. Bromo is back on the list again. Okay, a heightened activity at the volcano has been detected. All right. Ducono still on there. Santa Guito still on there. 14,000 feet. Okay, watch that probably jump in height when it goes off again. We got Fuego still going off. Explosive activity continues. Sangay, explosive activity continues. Reventador, explosive activity. Sabancaya, volcanic ash advisory. Ubinus, new on the list again here yesterday. Unable to detect, but it's on there as well. So all these volcanoes. Where's the rest of the list? Oh, dang it. Let me try clicking on reminder. No. I was looking for the active in the currently erupting list, but it doesn't seem to be on there right now. So, anyways, what I really need to talk about is the volcanoes going off, okay, all around the world, not just specific areas. Ones that are mildly active, coming back to life. What we really should talk about is Iceland. And for Iceland coming back to life, they've had a bunch of earthquakes here at Iceland recently, a bunch of small ones. So magma's on the move again underneath this region, all right? It's not venting here at this little spot lately. So watch out. There's something going on under Iceland. And there's a bunch of volcanoes that are, coming back to life right now. So I should send you to the volcano channel guy. He does a lot of videos. He'll do like 4 to 5 a day, depending on all the eruptions and stuff. And he keeps up on it. So maybe I'll leave the link to that channel in the description here, so you guys can follow along. You'll be like, oh yeah, we were just talking about that volcano, and you'll see, poof, it went off, and he'll do a report on it, and be like, wow, we were just talking about that. This one right here, Panama, we forgot to check 4.4 right there. But I don't see anything else that's really too major right now. When this energy comes in and gets absorbed, it's going to cause pressure down below to push on the underside of the crust. With wave after wave after wave, pushing more and more and more, it'd be like, say when we're pumping up the beach ball again, all right? And you got it at maximum pressure, even though there's a slight leak in it that's letting air out, so you're pumping, it doesn't pop. But if you give 3 solid, good, full pumps really, really fast at the end, and that little pinhole can't let the pressure out quick enough, you're going to see a big release, all right? So let's pray that some of these vents open up and start relieving pressure, that we have some, fives, mid-range fives all over the place relieving pressure. I have a feeling it's going to jump to at least 6, if not 7 in magnitude by the 17th. After all 3 of those events have hit the Earth, I expect probably, anytime after the 17th to see a big uptick in your earthquakes and volcano activity. And it's gonna mildly grow from right now moving on. We've already taken a few absorption hits just because of the flares. All right. Then we had some mystery absorption event that nobody saw coming. So we've already taken a few, and now here come three more. So we're going to see this map light up in frequency of quakes. We'll see maybe um, a new weak spot open up where we'll have a big quake and a quake swarm in a new area, because that seems to be a little trend lately. If pressure doesn't relieve enough in that one new weak spot or in this new weak spot, if they're not venting fast enough, it could pop a new one here or anywhere around this region. Okay, so watch out for that as well. And also underwater volcano events. All right, we have all these ones on land that are going off. There's a lot more under the water than there is on the land, and they're going off underwater as well. We have Iwo Jima over here building an island, so look for that to continue. We might see another island pop up. Who knows? But it's something, all of that, all of those possibilities are results from the pressure down below in the core and the magma swelling, pushing up against the underside of the crust. Pretty simple stuff, really. I just got to say it over and over again because this is no joke. The serious of this now, when people are saying, oh, don't worry or whatever, don't worry, but you better start taking this serious, because this next part, when we get into the weather, oh boy. This will be our first indicator here. Will be our weather when these waves arrive. 15th, 16th, 17th, right? So, here we are, current conditions, the night of the 14th. Do you see we already have this patch right here with intense or severe weather at the night of the 14th, before our event even arrives? Okay? As we get into the morning of the 15th, we have this band here in the Central Plains with the severe weather in the middle. We also have this band out here gaining strength. These two are going to combine to make this wicked-ass storm. There's the morning of the 15th. Keep in mind, we got energy that's going to add to this. So at the noon time here, I have a feeling we'll see a little bit more severe weather than they're showing. By the end of convection, they're not showing any severe weather in here, which I have a feeling might change. Unfortunately, I pray I'm wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I can admit, hey, I was wrong sometimes. It's not a big deal for me. But as we see right here, this pocket of moisture had the potential for severe weather in it in the morning, a little bit at noon. Now here at the end of convection, there's one little spot here in Texas, but I have a feeling that might change. Then as you see this low start to wrap up here, and this low, they're going to combine here pretty soon. This is the night of the 15th. Keep in mind, added energy as we continue into this. You see it forming this hook shape, the comma shape. That's the morning of the 16th going into the noon time, into the end of convection. Now, this is where the sun is going down, cloud tops are at their highest. They're done boiling for the day, and they're about to, convection is ending. At the height of convection, at the end of convection, we have this storm making landfall here in Florida. All right, you guys in Tampa Bay, this whole pocket corner of Florida right there, going up into Georgia, is be on alert. I'd just go somewhere else. I'd be like, hey, Aunt and Uncle John, we're coming over for Christmas and we're staying a week. Anyways, this is the nighttime of the 16th. All right, so this storm is not going to just dissipate at night like a thunderstorm. This thing is sticking around. It's intensifying at night. We have the possibility for nocturnal thunderstorms and tornadoes right there. As we get into the morning of the 17th, this is when the X flare energy hits now. So add X flare energy to this thing as we go into the next frame. That's the noontime. That'll be added energy to that. There's the end of convection, added energy to that. And the nighttime of the 17th, added energy to that as it just pummels the Pennsylvania, what was West Virginia a little bit, Virginia, North Carolina, going up into New York and stuff. So these last three frames from noontime through convection and into the night, it's going to creep up into that area, up to the Washington, D.C. area. Then, as it goes into the morning time of the 18th, and we just saw, after the X flare, we just endured another event right now. So that will transpose to this frame right here on the 18th, because today's the 15th, add 3 days. I'd evacuate New York, get out of there, Pennsylvania, all that area on the East Coast. You guys are just going to get hammered. This is going to be like a freaking nature storm, and I don't think they're taking this as seriously as it needs to be taken. This is going in. All right, so let me back up just a few real quick. Again, this is the nighttime of the 17th into the morning of the 18th, the noontime of the 18th, then the end of convection. And then by the nighttime of the 18th, it's pretty much moved offshore. The wraparound snow on the backside is reaching down into Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York. So these places right here that just got their asses handed to them by this monster storm are then going to get covered with snow afterwards. So to add insult to injury. I bet you we see headlines, in the news out of this storm. It's going to be like record storm or something like that. It'll do something weird. All right. Not much until we have this little storm coming on the west coast. Once this kind of moves out, we got another storm coming in here on the west coast on the 18th, going into the 19th there. That's the nighttime of the 19th into the 20th. I know a lot of people are going to be heading towards Tahoe and going skiing and stuff, so you're going to have storms that are going to cause traffic delays driving up there. This is 4 p.m. December 20th. As we get into the nighttime of the 20th, morning of the 21st, there's the noontime of the 21st. Severe weather here just south of Bay Area, Santa Barbara area, Monterey area. As we get into the end of convection, the 21st, severe weather in Southern California, nighttime of the 21st, the morning of the 22nd, severe weather again down here in Southern California. They're going to get heavy rain, mudslides, all this water is just day after day after day of water right there is going to take its toll. That's 4 p.m. the 22nd, that's 10 p.m. the 22nd, the morning of the 23rd. You see how this is gathering strength and coming up through the middle here again. This is the noontime of the 23rd. There's the end of convection the 23rd with possible severe weather coming onshore right there at Texas. This is subject to change. It's kind of far out there. This night of the 23rd, morning of the 24th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Here we go, the morning of the 25th, all right? So lots of rain all the way, from upper Michigan area, the Great Lakes area, all the way back through Texas, down through there, okay? As we go through the noontime, it reaches all the way across the country. Look at this storm, from way up here in Canada, reaching all the way down and continues out of frame into past Mexico into the Pacific there. Now, pockets of severe weather here during the noontime of Christmas Day. This is going to be the end of convection Christmas Day, and we need to zoom in on this. I pray that this is wrong, that this doesn't come to fruition, because it's all subject to change. But that could be, disturbing Christmas for some in that area if we have this event like that right there. Could possibly, tornadoes again in that area. We're almost done here. Christmas, severe weather right here in the Mississippi River Valley there. Boom, going right up into, what is it? Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. 26th. There's the noon time, the 26th. Look at this icing event possibly here in Pennsylvania. The end of convection, the 26th, nighttime or sundown. Going into the night of the 26th, you see this event possible here. Lots of icing and snow on the backside. Most of the moisture offshore there. Morning of the 27th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime. Big storm coming up here in British Columbia. Watch this. From the morning of, or noontime the 28th, kind of makes landfall. It gets intense up there. I'm trying to get these colors for you guys so you can see the colors. Let's click one more. There's the nighttime right there. So big nasty storm making landfall here on December 28th here in the Northwest. As this thing winds up and starts pitching severe weather at South Carolina here. See this low wind up like that? So from the end of convection over nighttime into the morning, this thing gathers strength on the 29th and then starts doing this crazy stuff. In the noontime of the 29th, snow in there by convection, snow in the nighttime up through New York. So, wow, lots of weather out there for this region. Okay, I'm gonna start that loop again and just let that play for a second while I get set up for tonight's spiritual report. Alrighty, so a lot going on, a lot of pressure. We're gonna see the weather change. We just seen France get pummeled. Okay, so wild weather is going to be like one of the first effects that we get, and then we're going to start seeing pressure from down below, triggering earthquakes and increased volcanic activity, increase in height, frequency, volume that comes out. There'll be possibly semi-active ones going fully active now. We see that a lot. Let me keep this one. Let's go back real quick before we do this solar report. Let's come check on our event here. Refresh this, make sure it's nice and fresh. All right. Something I want to talk about real quick. This little box, it says the X-ray box. Let me zoom in on that. It's in pink right now, and it did this earlier today when the X flare came in. Okay, so our X-rays are currently at M level 1.1. So you are getting X-rayed when you go out right now. All right, the level is pink at M level 1.1. See, we're still coming down from this. At one point, this thing turned probably red when we had the X flare here. All right, so over the course of this day, since here, there, and here, we've had a bunch of radiation come in today. And here's our latest event coming back down out of R1 back into R0 territory, all right? It wasn't a very big one. It may have gone to R2. It looks like it maybe have gone to R2 radio blackout a little bit there. So our latest series of energy coming in, the biggest X flare since 2017. All kinds of just epic stuff going on here. Let me get that off of there. We'll get the volcanoes off. We did the first one. And now we can put this on something else. Alright. So we're going to pick up where we left off with our 4th day of Christmas. And where's the video we're playing tonight? Right there. Okay, so earlier I was telling you about this, or yesterday when we were looking at the angels, I pointed out this bench in the background. During that session with the angels bowing, this face was captured back there in the background. Now, not only were we capturing angels and stuff like that, but also the demonic realm as well. All right, so I don't really like to show this part, but it is part of it. I don't like to give too much attention to the demonic realm, but it does exist, and it's important that you see this and understand that hell is real too. Okay, so let's just start this video. Okay, put some sound in it. Oh, running through the filter and stuff, and not only were we finding angels and Mary and stuff, but there's also demons, and I've also found Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight in on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here. Hang on, let me move this. An eye right here. There we go. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling. If you look, it's got some kind of streak or horns or something, or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. You know, other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about, and hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see a little bit better. Zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth. There's a corresponding mouth with these eyes, wrinkles going across the nose here. This is some kind of demon or principality. And it's tucked in the way in the corner of this picture, way back up in here. And you can't even see it as in a normal picture, but you zoom in, swing it over, zoom in, and you can see this face just appear. And there's more faces in this stuff too, but this one's really defined and pretty dominant in this picture. So I want to start off with that one. Hopefully you guys can see this one. Okay. So in this sequence here, I've got my camera pointed at the couch now because I've been capturing activity around this couch. And one night I was just sitting on my couch there praying, and wasn't really thinking of capturing anything. Here I was just sitting here praying before I started taking pictures or doing my thing, and it was already running. And lo and behold, there's some kind of demon up here. You'll see some green wings over here kind of flapping, and it lifts up my bike and spits a bolt of energy on it. And I had no idea this happened until I went back through my pictures and stuff, and I put this series into motion in a flip book, and I realized, oh my goodness, look what happened. It picked up my bike and spit a bolt of energy on it. This one you can't really see the face too well, but you can make out the wings kind of flapping. Maybe we'll pull it over a little this way more. There we go. And this thing turns, picks up my bike, lifts it up, and spits a bolt of energy on it. Okay, there's that. I'll let you look at that one for a second longer. Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again. Actually, can't see much in this one. Let's move on. Oh no, here, go to listen. Right there, boom. Streak. Let me start that one again. Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again praying, the camera's set up, and you'll see a purple streak, a bolt come in here, right there, boom. And it hurt. You can see my reaction to it. So we'll let it run again. Here I am sitting here praying. There's all kinds of stuff jumping around in the background, and then zap right there. And that was a real one. I could feel it. And now when I go back, we're going to go back to the top of that bolt and zoom in on the face. Okay, so here's the frame out of that sequence of me getting hit with that bolt. You can see the bolt coming down here. It's got a kind of a purple hue to it or whatever. And then we're going to start zooming in to the face up top here, and it's going to be Satan's face. So you guys ready to see this? If not, you might want to stop the video at this point. But I do not glorify this at all. I do not like to give him attention, but it's important to know that he's real, because he wants everybody to think that he's not real. I think you might be able to see this face without me pointing anything out yet. There we go. Okay, so let me zoom out so I can see it. If you look right here, this eye, this is his crazed eye. The other eye on the other side is bigger. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a little out of proportion, but then you can make out the side of his face. His jawline coming down, the bottom of his chin, his face going up here. Here's his mouth with some evil kind of grin on it. You can see his ear coming out over here. You can make out horns coming up. And this is in that mosaic of dots again, but these faces pop out and they're more prominent. You can see this one really stands out. And that's Satan right there. You can even make out some wings coming up here. And he's mad. He's mad because I'm praying. And he's throwing bolts of energy at me and spitting on my bike and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So, it's important that you guys know that this entity is real. He's here right now, causing chaos all over the place. I'm sure you guys can see that. And I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm just doing this to inform you guys that this is what I'm capturing. And this stuff is real. And you can see it attacking me. Just another few seconds here on this guy so you can see his face. Make out his ear over here, corresponding horns, eyes, smile, everything. That's Satan right there with his wings, spitting some kind of bolt or something at me. Fiery darts. Bam. Okay, so that's it for this little session. I hope you enjoyed. Alright, so this was happening. Well, you saw the little demon face there at the beginning. That was during the angels bowing. It was in one of the frames of that session. That face was captured in the back there by the little weight bench thing here. This face was captured during the angels bowing. It was caught in one of the frames, clear back in the corner. All right. So let's kind of rehash. The first thing was Nibiru and Nemesis. God showing me that. Then the star alignment happening 13 days later. So God shows me the dragon that everyone missed. Then the star alignment. Then the Revelation 12 baby born in my garage being caught up to God. and then Mary and the angel and the God Eye showing up the next day. Then the angels showing up, hovering over the kids, doing all kinds of stuff, and now demonic stuff starting to show up in the background, in the corners of these pictures. All right. So each one of these things is a miracle, a hint. Yeah, I didn't even grab my microphone. Hopefully you guys can still hear me though. So we got to remember each one of these events, each one of these things, even though they look weird because they're miracles. This is the spiritual realm. Okay, things look odd. All right. So you got to remember these are miracles as well as hints and clues. Okay, and this is the chronological order that it all kind of went down in. Okay, so first it was Nibiru and Nemesis, then the star alignment, then Mary and angels, and now demons showing up and Satan attacking me. I mean, you could see him spitting a bolt of energy and attacking me. It broke 2 of my ribs. It hurt. You could see me flinch in the video. I had no idea what happened. I was just sitting there praying, and all of a sudden, bang, I get hit. I had no idea. It just hurt really bad. And then went back and checked the video. I'm like, no way. And that's when I zoomed up to the top of that bolt and found Mr. Satan's face there. Okay, so another one of these things that's been happening to me since September 10th of 2017. The day my life just changed. Okay, now let's do a little reading here. Let me pull up a better image to read to, though, because we don't want to read the word to a demonic image, please, Lord. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. We did that one last night. Let's do this one tonight. Okay, a little bit.
Folks, welcome back. So I was going through some of my pictures here.
A little bit different image.
One of the best ones here of Jesus in the clouds.
I'm going to mute that and pause it. Wait. We got to get it to the filtered image. Where is it where it goes darker? Right there. Okay. So I filtered this image so it would make it pop out a little bit better for people who can't see it. It really makes the crown stand out a little bit better here. I'll try to do a few adjustments to get you the best picture I can here before we do our reading. All right. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. You guys should be jumping for joy. Here we go. I want it just right. Okay, to where you can see the face. You can see the hair flowing back. You can see the eyes, the nose, his mouth with his beard down here. Here's his face with his hair flowing back. And the crown up here above his head. Alright. Well, I guess that's about as good as we can get it without wavy lines, too. ADHD. That should be good enough. Alright. Sure. No, it's good enough. Alright, now let's see what I pick out for us tonight to read. And I wanted to start at the end and work backwards in reverse. Forward in reverse. So, alright, yeah, we're going to start right here. I want you to have quiet confidence in me, your living God. Sometimes people use loud voices or preposterous promises to gain power over others. Let me do that again. Sometimes people use loud voices or preposterous promises to gain power over others. These noisy speakers may appear to be strong, offering health and wealth to people who give them money, but they are actually just parasites. They survive by sucking precious resources out of others. True strength comes from quietly trusting in me and my promises. Rejoice that I am a living God, not a lifeless idol. I am the living one. I was dead, and behold, I am alive again forever and evermore. My power is infinite, yet I approach you gently and lovingly. Spend time with me, cherished one, relating to me in confident trust. As you relax with me, I strengthen you, preparing you for challenges you will encounter on the road ahead. While you're focusing on my presence, use scriptures to help you pray. You can draw near to me by whispering, I love you, O Lord, my strength. Because I am always with you, beloved, whether you're aware of my presence or not. Sometimes the place you are in seems desolate, devoid of my loving companionship. But you can call out to me and know that I am by your side and eager to help. I am near to all who call on me. Whisper my name in tender trust, casting your doubts to the wind. Tell me your troubles and seek my guidance. Then change the subject. Praise me for the greatest Praise me for the greatness of glory, my power and majesty, and thank me for the good things I have done and am doing in your life. You will find me richly present in your praise and thanksgiving. Taste and see that I am good. The more you focus on me and my blessings, the better you can taste my goodness. Delight in the sweetness of my unfailing love, and savor the hearty flavor of my strength. Satisfy the hunger of your heart with joy and peace of my presence. I am with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go. Back up again, and then go forward. Lots of forward and reverse lately. Okay, there we go. Let me take a sip here again. All right. In order to hear my voice, you must release all your worries into my care. Entrust me everything that concerns you. This clears the way for you to seek my face unhindered. Let me free you from fear that is hiding deep inside you. Sit quietly in my presence, allowing my light to soak into you and drive out any darkness lodged within you. Accept each day as it comes to you, remembering that I am sovereign over your life. Rejoice in this day I have made, trusting that I am abundantly present in it. Instead of regretting or resenting the way things are, thank me in all circumstances. Trust me and don't be fearful. Thank me and rest in sovereignty. For I love you with an everlasting love. The human mind cannot comprehend my constancy. Your emotions flicker and falter in the face of varying circumstances, and you tend to project your fickle feelings onto me. Thus, you do not benefit fully from my unfailing love. You need to look beyond the flux of circumstances and discover me gazing lovingly back at you. This awareness of my presence strengthens you as you receive and respond to my love. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. So let my love flow into you continually. Your need for me is as constant as the outflow of my love to you. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful image right here. It took a lot to get that, but the media didn't want to enjoy it. I figured, well, I'll put it on YouTube and maybe we'll get a few people that'll stop by and be blessed. You know, we were talking how you're like one step removed from the rest of society. You know, when you see this image right here and you know that this is the real deal that happened on Easter, that, you know, we are in that time frame, the season, okay, the end days, you probably feel one step removed from from the average public that doesn't have a clue. They have faith. They don't know for sure, but this elite audience does. It makes you guys powerful. That's why I call you guys the elite, because this knowledge gives you power. All right. So just keep you guys' heads up. Keep praying for each other. Endurance. I keep hearing that word over and over and over again, and he keeps making me perform endurance acts. Like I'm sure you folks are going through a gauntlet every day, like I am. From the moment you wake up, the world comes charging at you, and you got to do your best to, you know, take it the best you can. Try to regain composure. Lots of days you're spent rescuing the second half of the day. Um, some days start off good and end up bad. Some days start off bad and end good. So there's just this balance, and we have to recognize the fight the battle spiritually, and try to help others along the way and bless them with the knowledge and stuff along the way so they don't perish. Okay? Because my children perish for lack of knowledge. And I don't want to see many more perish. So I think that's about it for tonight. We're going to continue to watch the instruments like a hawk. Just one more checkup real quick over here. Refresh this. Okay, so it has dropped down to C7.1 level now. Okay, so it's tapering off. We're kind of coming out of it again. Coming down from a bad acid trip. Okay, we had some absorption. Oh, here it is right here. M6.9. Okay. Oh, something else we can do now that it's towards the end. We can go back to this, refresh it, and take a little peek at what happened here. Don't see much. All right, this is the 12 frames from the 15th already. You know what? I don't think it has it on there yet. I don't think the event is on there quite yet. It's still too fresh. Well, it may have been this one. Oh no, this is the slow motion event though that's going on right here. So, well, we'll get more data overnight, or over the course of the next few hours, and when I get back up in the morning here, I'll come check this, and if there's any like important stuff that has happened since this show, I'll have to do another quick little daytime live stream or update or something. Still quiet on the map there. That's good. We still got all these waves coming in. All right. I'll give you one more good shot of your savior there. There is a superhero. Heroes aren't dead. There is one left. There's a superhero. It's funny how all these DC comics come up with all these superheroes with their superpowers and stuff, when there was a real life superhero with real superpowers. It's like it's so funny how they try to divert it to somebody else when it really belongs to this man. All right, I think that's it for tonight. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back.